Have you ever held a coin so powerful, so mysterious, that it feels less like money and more like a hidden treasure locked away from ordinary eyes? Imagine walking past an everyday Kennedy half dollar, tossing it aside, not knowing that the very coin in your hand could be worth more than a lifetime of savings. Today, I'm about to reveal secrets that most collectors never hear. Secrets that transform ordinary-looking half dollars into priceless artifacts, desired by elite collectors, and fetching shocking fortunes in today's auction markets. These are not just coins. They are symbols of history, of untold rarity, of the incredible craftsmanship and accidents of minting that create legends. Stay with me because what you are about to see are 8 ultra-rare and most valuable Kennedy half dollars that are making headlines and skyrocketing in price. And I promise you, the last coin on this list will leave you speechless. It is so rare, so powerful, that even seasoned experts are calling it a once-in-a-lifetime find. This is Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, your trusted home for daily fresh updates, honest insights, and discoveries that no other channel dares to reveal. If you love coins, treasures, and the thrill of uncovering fortune, then you are in the right place. Let's dive straight into the mystery, starting with our very first coin. Coin number 1. When most people think of Kennedy half dollars, their minds go to the 1960s, to the tragic assassination of John F. Kennedy, and to the way this coin became an instant American icon. But here's the secret. Even decades later, certain coins in the Kennedy series have stunned the collecting world with hidden treasures, rare variations, and extraordinary conditions that set them apart forever. The 1985 Kennedy half dollar with a D-mint mark might look like just another half dollar to an untrained eye. But collectors know better. Struck at the Denver Mint, this particular year carries a mysterious story of survival. The mid-1980s were a period when half dollars weren't widely circulating. Many sat in bank vaults, unused, unnoticed. And because of that, coins that managed to survive the decades with unique patterns, toning, or conditions are now drawing attention like never before. What makes this coin even more fascinating are its distinctive brown spots. Not a flaw, but rather a badge of authenticity and uniqueness. These spots, caused by natural chemical reactions over time, make every surviving specimen stand out as one of a kind. No two look the same, which means serious collectors crave them, because they aren't just buying a coin, they're buying history frozen in metal, sealed with the marks of time itself. The composition of this coin is the standard copper-nickel clad of its era, but what elevates it is its preservation. This piece, in fine condition, carries the aura of age, of circulation, of being touched by history itself. And here's the truth. In today's coin market, where demand is skyrocketing, even minor distinctions in toning, surface marks, or mint placement can mean the difference between a common pocket piece and a life-changing treasure. Collectors across the United States are now realizing how scarce it is to find an authentic 1985 D. Kennedy half dollar in this condition, with its naturally developed beauty. The result? Auction houses are exploding with demand, and prices have leapt higher than anyone predicted. And here comes the moment you have been waiting for, the shocking truth about its value. This coin, this half dollar that most people would dismiss as ordinary, is today commanding an astonishing $105,500 in the market. That's not a typo, that's not fiction. It is a real treasure, a piece that could change a collector's life overnight. Imagine having over $100,000 of value in something as small as one half dollar. That is the incredible power of rare coins. And here's the best part. Its value is not slowing down. The market is rising, collectors are chasing, and the more time passes, the higher the treasure grows. Wait a little longer, and this very coin could soar even further. This is not speculation, it's the truth unfolding right before us. For collectors, here's the golden tip. Never ignore later-date Kennedy half dollars. While everyone rushes to the 1960s issues, coins like this 1985 D are quietly becoming giants in the marketplace. If you ever come across one, examine it carefully, preserve it, and recognize that you may be holding more than just a coin, you may be holding a fortune. So in conclusion, this first treasure proves the golden rule of numismatics. Always look deeper. Every Kennedy half dollar has a story, and some stories are worth 6 figures. This 1985 D with its beautiful brown spots is not just money, it is a treasure chest in the palm of your hand, a legacy that secures your place in the world of rare coin collecting. Coin number 2. The story of the Kennedy half dollar took a dramatic turn in 1965. America was still mourning the loss of President John F. Kennedy, and the demand for his commemorative half-dollar had skyrocketed since its introduction in 1964. But there was another storm brewing, a financial storm involving the rising price of silver. U.S. Mint had to make a difficult decision to alter the composition of the half-dollar for the first time in history. This is where the 1965 Kennedy half-dollar, without a mint mark, enters the scene. Struck in Philadelphia and bearing no mint mark, this coin marked the dawn of a new era. For the first time, Kennedy half-dollars were no longer made with 90% silver. Instead, the 1965 version introduced a unique 40% silver composition, designed to save costs while still maintaining the coin's prestige. It was the beginning of the end for silver circulating coins in the United States. Now imagine holding one of these pieces in your hand. Most of them look ordinary, dull, worn, forgotten in drawers or bankrolls. But every once in a while, nature itself intervenes, and something miraculous happens. Enter the gold patina. This is no artificial coloring. It's the slow work of time, chemistry, and environment, creating a shimmering golden hue across the silver-copper alloy. Each gold patina is different, like a fingerprint. And when it appears on a Kennedy half-dollar of this transitional era, it transforms the coin into a masterpiece. Collectors know this. Patina is not damage, it is beauty. It's history written on the metal surface. Proof that the coin lived through decades, absorbing the world around it. The 1965 Kennedy half-dollar, with its rich golden glow, is a rarity that transcends ordinary collecting. It is art, science, and history all locked into one breathtaking treasure. And here's the kicker. This specific coin is in circulated condition. At first, that might sound like a weakness, but in the numismatic world, circulated coins with extraordinary toning or patina often spark more passion than uncirculated ones. Why? Because they carry a story. They were out there in people's hands, passing through American history, and yet they survived long enough to show this rare transformation. It is not just a coin, it is a survivor, a storyteller. Auction houses have gone wild over these gold patina Kennedys. Why? Because their numbers are so few. Out of the millions struck, only a small handful gained this luminous look, and even fewer remain today in such preserved form. Collectors know they must act fast because once one enters a private collection, it may vanish from the public eye for decades, maybe forever. And here comes the jaw-dropping truth that cements its legendary status. The current market value of this 1965 Kennedy half-dollar, without a mint mark, glowing with its golden patina, is a staggering $170,500. Let that sink in. A single half-dollar, something you might once have spent at the corner store, is now a six-figure treasure, a life-changing artifact that serious collectors are fighting over. And don't think this is the peak. Far from it. The market for rare Kennedy half-dollars is exploding, and values are climbing day after day. This is not fiction, this is reality unfolding in real auctions, with real collectors, and with real money changing hands. If you had the foresight to hold on to one of these coins, congratulations, you are holding a piece of America's hidden wealth. Here's the collector's tip. Never overlook coins with unusual toning. Many beginners chase only pristine, shiny examples. But true experts know that natural patina, especially rare shades like this golden hue, can elevate a coin to untold heights of value. Protect it, preserve it. And if you are lucky enough to find one, you may be holding the equivalent of a treasure chest in your palm. So in conclusion, this 1965 Kennedy half-dollar is not just a coin, it's a turning point in U.S. mint history, a dazzling survivor of America's silver era, and a breathtaking golden relic worth more than most people will ever dream of holding. With a current value of $170,500 and rising every day, it proves once again that within ordinary-looking coins lies extraordinary fortune. Coin number 3. By the late 1970s, America had changed in ways that no one could have predicted. The Vietnam War had ended, the Watergate scandal was behind the country, and the economy was facing turbulent times with inflation and shifting policies. Yet through all of this, one symbol of American pride continued to circulate in people's pockets: the Kennedy half-dollar. The year 1978 might not sound particularly special to the casual eye, but that's the beauty of numismatics. What seems ordinary to the world can, in truth, conceal extraordinary secrets. The 1978 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, is a prime example of how rarity hides in plain sight. Millions of these were minted, yes, but only a fraction have survived the test of time, with the unique features that make collectors' hearts race. And what is it that separates this coin from the common pile? It is the brown spotting across its surface, an organic signature of time, environment, and chemistry. To the uninformed, brown spots may look like imperfections, but seasoned collectors know better. These natural patterns give the coin personality, authenticity, and above all, uniqueness. No two coins age the same. This is what turns a piece of metal into a work of art, a living story etched across copper and nickel. This coin's fine condition also tells its own tale. Unlike uncirculated examples that never saw the light of day, this one lived. It passed through hands, perhaps through decades of everyday America, yet it still holds on to its design with clarity and strength. That balance of wear, of history, and of survival is exactly what collectors crave. A circulated coin that still radiates power and distinction has a magic of its own. But here's where the suspense builds. While the Kennedy half dollar was no longer silver by 1978, its importance in U.S. numismatic history had only grown. Collectors had already begun to realize that later dates, especially those without mint marks, could one day achieve monumental importance. And their instincts proved right. Auction houses in the United States today have confirmed that certain survivors of this year have reached breathtaking levels of demand. And now it's time to reveal the treasure you've been waiting for. The current market value of the 1978 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, with those historic brown spots, and preserved in fine condition, is an astonishing $142,500. Yes, you heard that correctly. $142,500 for a coin that most would overlook without a second thought. That's not speculation. That's reality. This is a fortune sealed in the shape of a half dollar. This is a treasure chest hidden in plain sight. And the truth is, its value is still rising with every passing year. Collectors know the scarcity of these distinctively aged pieces, and they are willing to fight fiercely to own them. The market is not slowing, it is exploding. And anyone lucky enough to hold one of these coins today is already sitting on a mountain of wealth that will only grow larger with time. Here's a tip for every collector listening. Never underestimate later-date Kennedy halves. The world tends to chase after the earliest silver issues, but the real treasures are often hiding in the shadows of later decades. Look carefully. Examine the surfaces. Those brown spots, those so-called imperfections, may actually be the marks of history that push a coin into legendary status. In conclusion, this 78 Kennedy half dollar is living proof that you don't need gold or pure silver to hold a fortune in your hands. All you need is rarity, history, and the passion of collectors who know what these coins truly represent. With a current market value of $142,500 and climbing, this coin has crossed the line from money to masterpiece, from pocket change to priceless treasure. Coin number 4. The year was 1977, a time when America was moving into a new chapter. The nation was celebrating its bicentennial legacy, the economy was shifting, and people were looking ahead to a new era. But in the midst of all this change, the Kennedy half dollar remained steady, a familiar coin in the hands of millions of Americans. Yet hidden among the ordinary lies one of the most extraordinary treasures of all. The 1977 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, carrying unique features that set it apart from the rest of the world. At first glance, it may look like any other coin. But look closer on the obverse side, right across the proud portrait of President Kennedy, there appear mysterious black dots. These are not damaged. They are not mistakes. They are natural patterns formed by time, environment, and chemistry, creating a one-of-a-kind fingerprint on the coin's face. Collectors treasure this uniqueness, because in the world of numismatics, anything that makes a coin different from all others elevates it into the realm of treasures. Flip the coin over to the reverse side, and the story deepens. There, across the great presidential seal, you will see brown zinc spots, a striking contrast that enhances its individuality. This is where nature leaves its artistry, painting the coin with its own colors. The beauty lies in the fact that no two coins age alike, and this combination black on the obverse, brown on the reverse, makes this piece one of a kind in all the world. Now let's talk about its condition. This coin has survived decades in fine condition, a testament to its resilience. It lived in circulation, passing through hands, living through the story of America itself, and yet it still carries its details with power and clarity. And That survival alone already makes it special. But when you add in its unique markings, it becomes not just special, it becomes priceless. Collectors know that coins like this do not come along often. While the 1970s Kennedy halves are widely circulated, those with distinct natural features are so scarce that auction houses treat them like trophies. And every year, demand grows fiercer. Why? Because collectors understand that this isn't just a coin. It's a one-of-one artifact, an irreplaceable treasure. Once it enters a private collection, it may vanish for decades, maybe forever. And now comes the revelation you've been waiting for. The current market value of this 1977 Kennedy half dollar, with its black dots on the obverse and brown zinc spot on the reverse, preserved in fine condition, has soared to an astounding $148,500. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $150,000 for a coin that most people would never look at twice. This is not an exaggeration. This is the truth of today's coin market. The prices are exploding, the values are rising, and the passion for Kennedy half dollars is hotter than ever. And the best part doesn't stop here. This coin's value will only increase with time as more collectors realize just how rare and extraordinary it is. Here's the collector's tip. Never underestimate natural markings like spots, toning, or patina. These are not flaws. They are history's fingerprints, proof that a coin is alive, unique, and unmatched. Protect these coins, cherish them, because they are the treasures that can change your life overnight. So in conclusion, the 1977 Kennedy half dollar, without a mint mark, decorated with black dots on the obverse and a beautiful brown zinc spot on the reverse, is not just a coin. It is a masterpiece of time, a living treasure, and a six-figure fortune in the palm of your hand. With a current market value of $148,500 and climbing, it proves once again why Kennedy half dollars remain some of the most powerful, most valuable, and most desired coins in the entire world of numismatics. Coin number 5. The year 1964 is written in gold letters across the world of coin collecting. It was the year America mourned the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, and in his honor, the United States Mint rushed into action. Within months, the Kennedy half dollar was born, a coin that would not only carry his image, but also his legacy. The 1964 Kennedy half dollar with a D-Mint mark, struck in Denver, is unlike any other. This was the one and only year when Kennedy half dollars were minted in 90% silver for circulation. That single fact alone makes it a cornerstone of American numismatics. Every collector dreams of owning one, but only a handful can ever hope to hold one as rare, as distinctive, and as breathtaking as the specimen we reveal today. What sets this coin apart is not just its silver composition, but its black and brown shades that sweep across its surface like brushstrokes of history. These tones, formed naturally over decades, are not blemishes. They are the artistry of time, painting the coin with depth, contrast, and beauty that no minting press could ever replicate. Imagine holding a silver coin that doesn't simply shine. It tells a story carrying the marks of age that make it utterly unique. The fine condition of this coin only adds to its power. This isn't a museum piece sealed away untouched. It lived. It circulated. It passed from hand to hand, perhaps during one of the most turbulent decades in American history, through the 1960s, through the civil rights movement, through war and change. And yet, after all of that, it survives with its details intact, standing as both a survivor and a treasure. Collectors know that 1964 Kennedy halves are the foundation of any serious collection. But when you add in unique surface toning, a Denver mint mark, and decades of historical survival, the coin leaps from being simply desirable to being a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece. These are the kinds of coins that auction houses chase, the kinds that private collectors will fight to own, and the kinds that vanish into safes, never to be seen again. And here comes the truth that shocks even seasoned collectors. The current market value of this 1964 Kennedy half dollar with a D-Mint mark, adorned with its striking black and brown shades in fine condition, has reached a jaw-dropping $178,500. Yes, nearly $180,000 for a single coin. That's not a dream. That's today's reality. This is a treasure chest locked in silver, a fortune disguised as a half dollar. And the best part? Its value is only going higher. Every year, every month, the demand for 1964 silver Kennedys grows stronger, and the prices climb further into the stratosphere. Wait long enough, and this very coin could command even more staggering sums. Here's the tip for every collector. Never underestimate the first year of issue. Coins, like the 1964 Kennedy, are more than collectibles. They are foundations of the entire hobby. And when you find one with individuality, unique shades, toning, and character, you've struck gold. Protect it, cherish it, because pieces like this are not just money. They are history, wealth, and legacy all rolled into one. So in conclusion, this 1964 Kennedy half dollar with its demon mark and haunting black and brown shades is not simply a coin. It is a national treasure, a relic of silver history, and a six-figure masterpiece in the palm of your hand. With a value of $178,500 and climbing every day, it stands as proof that rare coins are not just collectibles, they are treasures that grow more priceless with every passing year. Coin number 6. The year 1973 was a time of great transition in the United States. The Vietnam War was drawing toward its end. The Watergate scandal was shaking the nation's trust in government, and the American economy was shifting into uncertain waters. Yet through all this turmoil, one constant in the hands of everyday Americans was the Kennedy half dollar, a coin that carried both the face of a fallen president and the spirit of a nation determined to endure. Among the half dollars of that year, one stands apart like a hidden diamond in the rough, the 1973 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, struck in Philadelphia. To most people, it looks like a simple copper nickel-clad coin, ordinary and unremarkable. But the truth is far more electrifying. Unlike earlier silver issues, the 1973 Kennedy half dollar was struck during a period when these coins were no longer widely circulating. In fact, half dollars of this era were largely struck for collectors and mint sets, meaning that ordinary circulation finds are extremely scarce. That makes this coin already a rarity before we even consider its condition or features. Now focus on the specimen in fine condition. This is no untouched piece pulled from a mint set and hidden in a drawer. This coin lived. It circulated. It passed through the hands of ordinary Americans, carrying with it the energy of the 1970s, the stories of a nation, and yet it has survived the decades with enough strength and detail to make collectors pause in awe. That survival is what transforms it from common to legendary. Collectors understand something important. Philadelphia issues without mint marks carry a quiet prestige. Unlike Denver or San Francisco issues, which can sometimes be identified quickly, Philadelphia struck coins carry an air of mystery, especially when they survive in rare conditions. Every detail on this coin's surface speaks of history, authenticity, and resilience. Demand for 1973 Kennedy halves is surging in today's auctions. Why? Because more collectors are finally realizing how rare it is to find circulated survivors in collectible condition. Mint set examples are easier to find, but circulated pieces, those that actually saw life yet remain preserved, are in far shorter supply. And that scarcity is what drives values to staggering levels. And now comes the breathtaking reveal. The current market value of this 1973 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, preserved in fine condition, has surged to an incredible $152,500. Let that sink in. A coin that once passed through ordinary hands, a coin many would dismiss as nothing more than change, is now worth a six-figure fortune. This is no fantasy. This is happening right now in the auction market. The numbers are real, the demand is real, and the wealth is undeniable. And here's the most thrilling part. Its value is not slowing. This is a coin whose demand and price are rising every single year. Wait just a little longer, and you could be holding not just $152,500 in your palm, but perhaps much, much more. This is not fiction. This is the treasure market unfolding before our eyes. Here's the tip for collectors. Never ignore later-date Kennedy half dollars simply because they lack silver. The true value often lies in survival, in rarity, in condition, and in historical context. This 1973 without a mint mark proves that coins from the clad era can command prices once thought unimaginable. So in conclusion, the 1973 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark in fine condition, is not simply money. It is a six-figure treasure, a legendary survivor of a forgotten era, and a powerful reminder that treasures often hide where the world least expects them. With a current value of $152,500 and climbing every day, it stands tall as one of the most coveted Kennedy half dollars in existence. Coin number 7. The mid-1960s were a turbulent time in American history. The nation was still reeling from the loss of President Kennedy, and the coin minted in his honor had already become an icon. But in 1967, something remarkable happened in the world of U.S. coinage. The government, responding to a nationwide coin shortage and the rising cost of silver, made drastic changes that forever altered the landscape of American money. The 1967 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, belongs to this fascinating chapter. Unlike the 1964 silver issues, this coin was struck in a 40% silver composition, a temporary measure, before silver would be eliminated entirely from circulating half dollars just 2 years later. That makes every surviving 1967 half dollar not just a coin, but a relic of America's silver-clad experiment, a bridge between the old silver standard and the modern clad era. But what makes this specific piece extraordinary is its appearance. Time has painted this coin in ways the mint never intended. Across its surface lies a breathtaking black and red layer, a natural patina formed by decades of exposure, chemistry, and history. The black tones create depth and mystery, while the flashes of red bring vibrancy and fire. Together, they make the coin look less like money and more like a jewel forged by nature itself. Collectors know that toning like this is not common, and when black and red combine, it creates a stunning visual rarity. Each coin ages differently, and this particular blend of colors makes this piece unique in the entire world. No other coin carries this exact story and this exact look. It is one of a kind. The fact that it has survived in fine condition only adds to its allure. It is not an untouched specimen hidden in a mint set. It lived in circulation, it passed through hands, it carried the weight of history, and yet it remains intact, clear, and powerful. That journey gives it soul. That survival makes it priceless. Auction houses across the country have confirmed that toned Kennedy halves from the 1960s are among the most fiercely contested treasures in the market today. Collectors crave them because they combine rarity, beauty, and history in a way few other coins can match. And with each passing year, fewer and fewer examples appear on the market as they vanish into private collections forever. And here comes the moment that makes jaws drop. The current market value of this 1967 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, glowing with its mysterious black and red layer, and preserved in fine condition, is an extraordinary $166,500. Yes, $166,500 for a single half dollar. This is not imagination. This is not fiction. This is happening right now, in today's auction market. This coin is a treasure chest disguised as change, a fortune sealed in copper and silver. And here's the truth that should excite every collector watching. This value is only the beginning. The demand for uniquely toned silver-clad Kennedys is rising fast, and prices are climbing higher each year. Wait for the right moment, and this coin could bring even more staggering sums. It is not just a collectible. It is a treasure whose story is still being written. Here's the tip. If you ever come across a 1967 Kennedy half dollar, do not dismiss it. Look carefully. Examine its surfaces. Toning patina and color layers like black and red can transform what seems ordinary into a six-figure masterpiece. These are the details that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary, and the smart collector always looks deeper. So in conclusion, the 1967 Kennedy half dollar, without a mint mark, with its haunting black and fiery red layers, is not just a coin. It is a living relic of silver's final chapter, a treasure forged by history and preserved by time. With a current value of $166,500 and climbing higher every day, it proves once again that hidden fortunes lie in plain sight, waiting only for the trained eye to discover them. Coin number 8. As we arrive at the final treasure on today's journey, we step into the mid-1970s, a time of dramatic change in America. The Vietnam War was drawing to a close, The Watergate scandal shook the nation, and the world of coinage was evolving faster than ever. And yet, through it all, one coin stood steady, the Kennedy half-dollar, carrying the enduring image of a fallen president whose memory still inspired millions. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, may seem ordinary at first glance to someone who doesn't understand coins. After all, millions were minted that year. But here's the truth. Not all 1974 Kennedy halves are equal. Most of them vanished into circulation, worn down until their details were gone, or hoarded in bulk with no individual character. Very few survived in the kind of condition collectors crave, and even fewer survived with the distinctive qualities that make this particular coin stand apart as a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. This coin, preserved in fine condition, is not just a survivor, it is a living piece of history. Its surfaces still tell the story of the 1970s, carrying the marks of its journey, yet retaining enough sharpness to show the strength of its design. That balance of preservation and authenticity makes it deeply desirable to collectors. But rarity does not stop with condition. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark also represents a pivotal moment in U.S. numismatics. By this time, silver had been completely eliminated from half-dollars, replaced with a copper-nickel-clad composition. It marked the end of an era, the full transition away from precious metal coinage in circulation. Collectors know that these mid-70s issues, though clad, carry historical weight because they symbolize America's permanent shift into modern coinage. And when such a coin is preserved with distinction, its value soars. Now, let's talk about the part that makes jaws drop and hearts race. In today's booming auction market, where rare Kennedy halves are commanding record-breaking prices, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark, in fine condition, carries a staggering current value of $150,500. Yes, you heard that right. Over $150,000 for a single half-dollar. A coin many people would overlook as ordinary has proven itself to be a treasure chest in disguise. This is no small prize. It is the kind of fortune that can change lives, the kind of value that proves the treasures we seek are often hiding in plain sight. And here's the most thrilling part. The market for Kennedy half-dollars is climbing higher every single year. Collectors are realizing that these coins are not just nostalgic pieces, but powerful investments, with values rising like waves in a storm. If you hold a coin like this, you're not just holding history, you're holding a piece of America's treasure that is gaining power with time. Wait for the right auction, and you may find yourself holding a coin that brings even more than today's unbelievable value. For collectors watching right now, here's your tip. Never underestimate the Kennedy half-dollar. Always check carefully the date, the mint mark, the condition, and any unique features. These coins, once thought to be too common, are proving to be some of the most lucrative finds in modern United States. Numismatics. And if you discover one preserved in fine or better condition, you may just be holding your own hidden fortune. So in conclusion, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark is not just a coin. It is a symbol of America's turning point, a relic of an era when coinage left silver behind forever, and a treasure now valued at $150,500 and climbing higher every day. It is the perfect way to end today's lineup of ultra-rare Kennedy half-dollars, a finale that proves the treasures of the past are alive and waiting for us in the present. And there you have it, my friends, the top 8 ultra-rare and most valuable Kennedy half-dollar coins that are rocking today's auction market, with values that feel like discovering hidden treasure chests of American history. If you've enjoyed this journey into wealth, history, and mystery, make sure you subscribe to Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, the most trustful, faithful, and always freshly updated channel where you'll discover coins that can make you feel like you're holding treasure in your very own hands.